Hello and welcome to CIMA F1 Financial Operations, Chapter 16, External Audit. This is not an audit paper, as you obviously know, but you need a good awareness, as you need it about tax, on what an external audit is. As a chartered management accountant, you may have encounters with your external auditor. So, who are they? Why are they in the picture? Just to understand a bit the background, if you think this is the company, let's say you are the management, you're part of the management, and here are the shareholders. So the shareholders who own the company. The shareholders need reasonable assurance that the statements of, all the financial statements are true and fair view and are in line with all the local gaps and all the regulations that are creating the framework for preparation of financial statements. At the same time, shareholders need reasonable reassurance that these financial statements have been properly prepared. And therefore, they will hire a third party, which is this independent auditor. So, in terms of relationship, it is the shareholders that appoint these independent auditors, one of the big four, one of the mid-tiers, etc., to find this reasonable assurance, to prepare a report to them, to the shareholders, about how the preparation of the financial statements have been made. Now, I will take you in this chapter to the very end of it, and I think this diagram covers all the audit report type of angles that you could be required to assess. And you may be given a scenario and you may have to decide based on the scenario given if the audit report provides an unqualified opinion, which is good news. It means that the financial statements give a true and fair view and that the financial statements have been properly prepared, or a qualified opinion, which can be of more types, and of course qualified opinion attracts more the attention of stakeholders on certain issues, which could be significant or not as significant or very much significant to their decision making. So the first thing you're going to ask is any material modification required. So if you notice an issue, is that to be dealt with? Particular, do we need to modify the financial statements and the numbers will change materially? Now, it's very important when we talk about materiality, everybody to understand what it means. And I will just basically go back a little bit to the definition of materiality, which says are transactions and other events likely to be seen as material in the context of a company's financial statements if their omission, misstatement, or non-disclosure would matter to a proper understanding of such financial statements on the part of a potential user. So, is the omissions, misstatement, or non-disclosure misleading in effect a key stakeholder who uses financial information? And if the answer is no, not really, we found 40 euros, we needed a little provision, but that doesn't really affect, then it doesn't affect the stakeholder's view, you can issue a standard report. However, if that is material, the next question you will have to decide is, does it impact on audit opinion? Well, if it doesn't really impact on the audit opinion because it's not really misleading the stakeholders by its inclusion, omission, non-disclosure, all you will do an audit report which is unqualified but with an emphasis of meta paragraph, where you will describe to stakeholders who are interested in the financial statements that specific matter, emphasis of meta. If this particular issue found impacts on the audit opinion, then we have to question ourselves, is that issue pervasive? Does it affect more elements of financial statements, or it's isolated, just related to that particular scenario? So if the case is it's isolated, it's not pervasive, it does not expand to other matters, elements of the financial statements, you will have an except for opinion. So in other words, everything is okay, unqualified, except for, and it will be disclosed that particular item. If, however, it's pervasive and other financial numbers could be affected, by this element, then we have to see what are we dealing here with. Is it a disagreement between shareholder, between management and auditor, or is it a limitation of scope? We don't have access or possibility to get access to more information. What is it exactly? And what we are saying is that if it is based on disagreement, let's say, auditor think the treatment should be one way and the management thinks differently, will give an adverse opinion. If it's based on limitation of scope, then all we have to do is to put a disclaimer of opinion. Due to a recent fire to the warehouse, let's say, various documents have been destroyed, therefore we cannot provide an opinion on that particular issue, and hence we give a disclaimer of opinion. So I think this diagram is hopefully you will find it useful. It's supposed to be very useful for in the exam to give you a mind frame, but the key thing comes to apply this let's say logical framework to any scenario given. And from the very beginning, when we talk about materiality, don't just say we'll look if it's material. Try to relate each element we just said to that particular context. Maybe you can calculate some number, a percentage of PBIT, or something to show how material that figure to which you relate could be. Hope you find it all useful. Best of luck with your preparation and the best of luck in your exam. Thank you.